Welcome to the Priority Driven Life of Free to Spend. I am so happy and excited that you have chosen to spend this session with me. My goal is to give you takeaways, practical applications and tips, and a new way to look at life so that you know that when, not if, but when you lose your way, when you begin to lose who you are, there is a place where you can come back to with priority-driven tools. Now, as in all great inventions, they normally come from a life that is struggling, searching for a solution, or is experiencing great difficulty. I am no exception. The priority-driven life is a result of 25 years of traveling through life, learning things, but a combination of different ventures that I have tried that didn't quite work. And I encourage you, keep going forward. Live a priority-driven life. So if you bear with me for a quick moment, if I may, I'd like to tell you a story of how the priority-driven life kind of came about. Thank you. It was probably 4 or 5 years ago. I had created a group for marriage-minded singles, a place where we could come together, we could learn together about having healthy relationships, ideally find someone in the group, fall in love with them, and marry them. Well, and a gentleman came, and he was in the group probably a couple of months before I raised him to the position of co-leader. I told all the men, follow him, follow his example. He serves me well, he compliments me. He was really the ideal person to really want to do marriage right, understanding his role as a man and what he offers to a woman. We found ourselves about 9 months later at a handshake engagement. We were best friends. I adored him. He openly praised and complimented me. And everyone kept saying, are you guys together? And we'd say, no, like, why would we be together? And handshake engagement. 2 months later, our first kiss was at the altar. And a week later, everything changed. This man, who I love dearly and cannot thank enough, used a form of communication with me that was disrespectful and no longer admired me. His form of communication was the problem. We sought counseling to help us with communication. Nothing we did worked. And came to an ultimatum that one day he packed up and moved out. I was lost. I was absolutely devastated. He was my best friend. And yet, does a best friend do that to another person? No. I had lost my way. I had lost who I was. I was losing a part of who I was in poor communication. And yet today I look back and I think and I know in my spirit, this was the most amazing experience I've ever had. It helped grow my character to who I am. It's given me tools and insight that I wouldn't have had I not gone through the pain and the difficulty. So when pain and difficulty come knocking your way, I want to celebrate with you. You heard me right. I want to celebrate with you because you have an opportunity to grow like nothing else. That is, if you don't run away. And the priority-driven life tools are to help you not run away, but really embrace who you are. So are you with me? Are you ready? Let's go. There is one me. Did you know I'm absolutely brilliant? I know you're probably thinking, well, is she conceited? Is she full of herself? What is the deal? Actually, no, I just know who I am. Really deep within me, I know who I am. And the cool thing is, I know who you are. So if you would do this with me, raise one finger in the air. And of course, I'll put it this high, but you can put it way high. One finger. I am. There's one me. And then take your hand, put it across your chest, kind of like you're going to hug yourself. The other one over there. But say, I am absolutely brilliant. Give yourself a squeeze. Okay, we got this? There is one me. And I am absolutely brilliant. Squeeze. You've got it. One me, absolutely brilliant. But more than that, you were created in power. So take your hands and form a cute little heart. So heart, oh, it's so cute. It was created in perfect love and in power. Take your hands and put them down there on your hips. Your hips. Not stand up, but it doesn't quite work on the camera. I already tried. So in power, Superman pose. Then tap your mind with a sound mind. Okay, let's remind ourselves. There is one me, and I am absolutely brilliant. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. I was created in perfect love, in power, and with a sound mind. Now, every time life gets a little more difficult or difficulty comes in, I want you to remind yourself, stick that finger in the air and say, there's one me, and I am absolutely brilliant. Squeeze, squeeze. I was created in perfect love, in power, and with a sound mind. You've got that. In fact, the parts, there is one you, and I'm going to show you how the one you gets transferred into 4 different parts. Now, in life, I say life is when you're breathing. Good definition of life. Dead is when you're not breathing. And make sure that you've sealed your eternity before that happens. But there's one life. Love. We are, remember, created. You're created in perfect love. And if we stay connected to the source of love, we receive love and give love. Now, unfortunately, in and of ourselves, we don't have really this thing that we call love. We don't muster it up and give it to someone else. It's kind of a phony, counterfeit type of love. But from the source of love, from up above, we receive love and we give love. It's very difficult to give what you do not have. A person can only love you to the degree that they love themselves, and they can only love themselves to the degree that they know that they're loved from the source of love. So the next one is wealth. Now, wealth often gets a bad rap. Wealth is simple economic exchange. You see, I have a need, you serve me, I give you serving certificates or money, saying thank you for supplying my need. You have a need, you have someone else supplying that need, and you're passing these serving certificates on. So wealth is an exchange, a barter system, but wealth has more components than just money. You can be wealthy in many areas, but we're going to talk about how to increase wealth and some of the different ways a little bit later on. Then the next area is our faith. And faith is one of those areas that people, oh, I don't have faith. Actually, you do. You have a lot of faith. In fact, we have faith. Faith is our hope. It's the assurance the sun's going to come up tomorrow. It's the hope for a better future. We have faith that the chair we're sitting on is going to hold us. We have faith that what we're doing is what we're supposed to be doing. Well, that's where faith comes in. Faith is really, it's a substance of all the things that you're not seeing, but you know inside your spirit. It's like faith is knowing when you're supposed to do something, opposed to knowing you're not supposed to do something. So faith, however your faith is, whatever your faith looks like, know that faith is part of the equation. We have life, love, faith, wealth. It goes around. If one of these areas are missing, if one are missing, the other part is not going to be going in your favor. So we need all 4 parts of our life. Now, what happens when one part is missing? What happens? Can we live life this way? Can we live life without this? No. So when one area is lacking or something is needing to be adjusted, let's figure out how we know. How do you think you know? If your life is out of balance, well, there's a wonderful thing that helps us out. And it is, let's figure out where we are here. It is feelings. Now, life, feelings we can have, we can be afraid, we can be annoyed, we can be overwhelmed, fatigued, sad, and one of my favorite words, discombobulated. Have you ever felt discombobulated? Oh, I certainly have. So life has all sorts of feelings. When these arise, telling us something in life isn't quite working, and it's not circumstantial. The next one is more feelings in love. We can be angry, feel guilty, embarrassed, confused, lonely, stuck. We can feel vulnerable. And more feelings. With wealth, we can feel dread, aggravation, yearning, devastated, perplexed, even jealous of others who have more than we have, or so we think. And more feelings. We can feel sensitive, uneasy, regretful, troubled, leery, self-conscious, and even ashamed. Our feelings are leading to something. In fact, our feelings, if left unchecked, oh my gosh, does life become overwhelming and confusing? A lot of times, instead of identifying our feelings, we will shove them under the carpet. Now, I've often said, you can only live with so many cats under the carpet, and pretty soon the cats under the carpet are going to be tripping you up everywhere. So our feelings are leading to something. So our feelings are going to be telling us something. But before, okay, let's be thinking of these 4 areas: life, love, wealth, and faith. Which one is giving you the most trouble? Go ahead and shout it out. All right. At times, every one of the areas could be giving us trouble. And sometimes we're just totally oblivious to any area giving us trouble, because they all are. All right. So with our feelings, let's look at reviewing. With our feelings, remember, there is one me, and I am absolutely brilliant. I was created in perfect love, in power, and with a sound mind. Yes. So anytime one of these is giving you trouble, you come back to, there's one me. So our feelings are indicating something, and we're going to find out, what is our feelings indicating? Well, they're indicating needs. We have needs. In life, there's the need to have meaning. There's autonomy. And the bolded words are your main primary needs. The italicized and there's a lot more italicized, but I just threw up a 3 on each one. There's the need for creativity, the need for freedom, the need to matter. Over in love, there's the need for play and for connection. There's the need for humor and affection and consideration. And in wealth, there's the need for physical well-being, with food, safety, rest, and sleep. In faith, there's a need inside each one of us for peace and honesty, authenticity, inspiration, and harmony. And so these needs are the primary source of what our feelings are trying to tell us. People ask, are feelings good or bad? Yeah, neither, really. Our feelings are guides telling us what need is either being met or not being met. So let's try a couple of words here. So angry. First, I would look at angry. Am I angry in life? Am I angry in love? Am I angry about wealth? Am I angry about my faith? Well, it could be any of those. What need would being angry be pointing to? It could be pointing to the need that I have to just belong. It could be pointing to the need that I'm financially frustrated. I'm angry where I am. It could be that I am angry in love, that I don't have the love that I want to have in my life. Okay. Next one, overwhelmed. Is in life. Are you overwhelmed in love? Does faith overwhelm you? Does your wealth overwhelm you? Often wealth overwhelms people. As I work with people and they're really overwhelmed with wealth, they think it's wealth, but in reality, it's life. Your money, when your money is a mess, it's only indicating that life isn't what you want, because your money follows you wherever your heart is. There your treasure is. It's fatigued. What could fatigued be? You could be fatigued in life, frustrated, fatigued, just tired. It could mean over here in love, it could mean you actually need to play. You actually need to put humor. Of course, down in wealth and physical well-being, it could mean that you have a need for rest, sleep. Or over here in faith, you could be fatigued because you simply need peace and you need harmony. I have a good news for you that you might not have thought of. And the first thing is, come back over here. My needs are a gift. And I would tell you right away, without character trait development, and we'll get into that in a minute, no one will want my gifts, which creates issues and feelings of all sorts. So I want you, if you would, I want you to hold it in your hands, a gift. So hold your hands up and put a gift in there. Describe what you're wrapping in your bow. Mine's like pretty pink, and it's got gold circles on it and a big puffy bow. And my need is a gift, and I'm going to say, I have a need for a loving connection. Would you compliment me? And as I give my gift to the friend, my friend is, Sharon, you're absolutely amazing. You are a rock star. I'm like, thanks. That meets my need. Now, if I, instead of expressing that I have a need, I just bark at someone and I'm actually expressing I have a need, just not in the right language. So my need is mine alone, and it's mine to meet. If I present a need, so let's have another need, another gift in our hand. Okay, I have a gift, and my need is maybe for financial security, and I bring it over to you. I have a need for financial security. Will you purchase my product? And you don't want to accept my gift. That's okay. It has nothing to do with me personally. You just don't want my gift. So I'll take my gift to another person. My need doesn't go away. I just take my gift to another person. Now, a gift comes free obligation. When there's strings attached, it's not a gift. And oftentimes we're trying to get people to meet our needs with strings attached. We're actually not giving them a free will gift. A gift is something I can accept or not accept, but you're not going to make me feel bad if I don't accept your gift. In fact, the hardest part with feelings is no one actually makes you feel anything. We all have needs and we feel things because our feelings are indicating we have a need that needs to be met, or we have a need that is being met and we're pretty happy with that. So I want you to practice next time that you have a need to actually speak out the need. I have a need for playing. Will you, and not will you play with me, that's the need. What's a reasonable action that can be done that would meet that need? I have a need for play. Will you come and play tennis with me? Will you come and go for a walk with me? Will you just tickle me? Okay, that's good. And so can they meet the need? Maybe they can't meet the need right now. Maybe they can meet the need. Whether they meet it or not, you still have a need. And it's your responsibility to get the need met, not to feel bad when someone else doesn't want to or isn't able to meet your needs. The highest honor and joy we have is in serving one another. I love volunteering. I love lighting up the room with a smile, encouraging people. It's the heart of who I am. I love meeting needs. Now, on that same line, if I'm feeling taken advantage of, I should be happy because I'm actually meeting needs. But there's something inside of me that goes, wait a minute, I only want to meet your need if I want to meet your need. And our needs are so crazy. Our feelings are just as bizarre. And as we work together on our needs and our feelings, remember, I choose whether I give to you or not. It's my choice. When I give to you, I'm happy. And so I do want to meet your needs. So let's go back to without character trait development, no one will want my gifts, which creates issues. See, I see your character traits. I see them here, I see them there, I see them everywhere. And it's time you develop them. Do you see your character traits? I am reminded of a funny story of not knowing I needed a character trait, or maybe I needed etiquette. Now I see etiquette and character traits going hand in hand. I was at a conference with a group of friends, and one person looked over to me. I yawned with my mouth wide open. And the person looked over at me and said, Sharon, what are you doing? No one wants to see the inside of your mouth. And I thought for a moment, that's interesting. Because when you yawn, cover your mouth. And I'm thinking, that's so interesting. I've never thought of covering my mouth when I yawn. And now when I cover my mouth, when I yawn, I actually kind of smile and giggle and think how silly that was. It was just something that hadn't occurred to me. It wasn't something that was taught to me or something that I had caught by example. And so our character traits are often like that. We see what your traits are. It's easy to see the shortcomings of people, the faults of people. Is so much easier than being able to see how amazing people are. And if you have close friends, accountability partners, please ask them, what do you see in me that I need to develop? They're not judging you, criticizing you. They just want to see the best version of you. And I'm going to ask you to take a look at you. What character traits do you need to develop? Now, I have character traits all across social media, whether you find them on Pinterest or YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn. I have character traits popping up. So I encourage you to go to one of my social media channels and pick a character trait and say, today I'm going to work on being cheerful. I add happy to life on purpose. Cheerfulness changes the state of your mind and body and splashes onto others. It's actually something that we can practice, as well as being honorable. I do what's right. Do you really do what's right when no one's looking? Do you walk past trash on the ground? You see it and do nothing about it. Do you see problems and find solutions? Are you determined? Self-motivated. The difference between impossible is 2 letters pronounced I am. I am. I look at, am I determined? Am I determined to do what I've set out to do? Am I using an excuse? Is someone stopping me? So again, all across my social media channels are character traits. And this next screen right here are, if you pause the video right here, you can zoom in, take your camera out on photo mode and zoom in. This particular one, yeah, red goes to YouTube. If you zoom in to take a picture, it actually leads you to that social media channel. This is Twitter. And again, while there, if you could subscribe when it's possible. Here's Facebook, here's LinkedIn, Instagram, and Pinterest. Again, I wanted these character traits out there for you to take one a day, one a week. Work on it. Encourage your family and friends to work on the trait with you. And as we see each person, because really change starts within us, as each one of us lives our best life, a priority-driven life, it influences the world around you. Now, so far, I'm teaching you, and I'm kind of behind this, but I'm teaching you an equation you might not have known. There's M times P and L plus P plus SM. What? There's one me times created in power. Oh, created in perfect love, power with a sound mind, divided by life, love, wealth, and faith, times my needs and my feelings, plus my traits. And behind me here is divided by, oh my gosh, everything I've already taught you, we're going to drill down just a little bit deeper, is divided by, are you ready? 13 areas of life. Now, the 13 areas of life, just as the 4 areas of life, if one is out of balance, we're going to have some problems. Even if one, say, what happens when you just, fun disappears from your life? Well, what happens? Looking good? I'm just not caring how I look anymore. What happens? Put that back. Now, the 13 areas of life, I'm going to briefly go over them in our next session. We're going to dive deeper into 13 areas, 4 areas, needs and feelings. But this is just going to be a brief overview. And I encourage you with 13 areas to write them down and think, how could I improve in each of these areas? Is there something I need to do to improve? So the first one we're going to talk about is giving back. Now, giving back, I say I always start with giving back because, in fact, you started because someone gave. Birds and the bees, dad gave to mom, mom gave birth, someone gave you shelter and food and love and nurtured you along. Someone gave you education. And so life begins with giving. And a big part is, how much of you are you giving back? Are you giving time, money? Are you giving to the local church, your community? Who are you giving to? When we think of people besides ourselves, life expands to where it's supposed to be. The center of the universe is not you. Even though I want to be in the center of the universe is not you. The second part is my future. Now, my future, bring this in for some strange reason. See if, maybe not. I just squeezed her. Okay, my future, I'm right now sitting in the future that I created years ago. Your future begins today. I ask myself, would my future you like what I'm doing? How I'm devoting my time, my money, my future? Let's go to peaceful sanctuary here. See if we can get peaceful sanctuary. Now, I call it peaceful sanctuary. Some people call it my home, my apartment, my pad, wherever I'm dwelling. I call it peaceful sanctuary because your home is supposed to be the place that you rest, rejuvenate, and ready to go out and conquer the world. It's a retreat, a private oasis. Sometimes our home becomes so cluttered with stuff, it's no longer home and we want to get out of there. Sometimes our home has relationships in it that are not healing and nurturing to us and we can't wait to leave or we don't want to come home. Peaceful sanctuary. What can you do to increase your peaceful sanctuary? Being peaceful. Next one is enjoying food. Now, I enjoy food. Oh my goodness, if it is yummy, little sounds go off in my mouth. I don't know how you can not do that when you've got good food in your mouth. And one of my favorite things with food is sharing your food with you. If you order something, I'd like to eat part of that instead of having my own. I eat little, but I eat often, and I enjoy food. But does your body enjoy what you're eating? Looking good, we already talked about. Really hard to do without looking good. How we present ourselves. Are we dressing that we show that we have a priority to our life? Is dressing a priority? Who we are on the outside should be who we are on the inside. And actually, it really is. We can sometimes mask and put on a facade of who we are, but looking good is being authentic inside and out. Dressing your truth, dressing to really showing up and saying, life is great. Here I am. This is doable. I can live a priority-driven life that is filled with purpose and meaning. And I want you to do the same. Cash flow. Cash flow also is one of those that seems to get neglected. Cash flow is great. You have a job. That's awesome. What are you doing to improve value, to add more value to society? Oftentimes we hear in the rat race, going round and round, surviving, that we stop about, wait a minute, how can I add more value? How can I add more value? We increase our cash flow by adding more value to society. Forever learning. My grandmother, who passed away at 103, would always encourage us to learn one thing new every year, to never stop learning. In fact, learn something you do not want to learn, and you'll soon find there's really nothing you don't want to learn. Transporting me. Our car is often taken better care of than our body. Should not be. Our mode of transportation. Is it really reflecting you? What are you doing? For me, it's really important. I have comfort. I enjoy luxury. I like sleek lines. And yet it's very difficult for me to even decide what kind of vehicle I want, because my main goal is to get from point A to point B, and I prefer a chauffeur. I prefer a driver because I'm always looking and thinking about other things. I love observing. And when you're driving, you should be task-minded at the task. So transportation. Now, plan B is kind of hidden. Let's bring her down. Plan B. Do you have a plan B? Do you have a plan B for all the stuff you're accumulating? Where's it going when you die? I say have a plan B for your body, for your stuff, your spirit, your soul. What's your plan B? If things don't go as according, what do you want us to do with you and all your stuff? Plan B is just as much a part of life as transporting me, looking good, cash flow, every other part. Plan B is the insurance that you need. Is your insurance adequate, up to date? Have you gotten to the place where you're self-insured? Next one, total wellness. And when we think of wellness, we often think of doctor, dental, taking care of the body, but take care of the mind too. Total wellness could be a life coach, someone to inspire you. It's health, nutrients, supplements, whatever it does, whatever it takes to create a total wellness from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Having fun. In life, if you can add fun, add a splash of fun to everything you do. There's no reason to dredge through life when having fun is actually a choice you can make. When I look at these 13 areas of life in front of me, I was noticing having fun. I wasn't doing very many things that was outside of working and progressing on who I was and personal development, to really just kick back and just have fun. So I have implemented that a little bit more. My goals. Now, my to-do list is my goals. I am one that if I got a goal, I write down the steps and let's get her done. Oh, wait a minute. You didn't actually want to do that goal? Okay. Goals we often neglect goals, again, back to survival. But set a goal. What is something that you want and that you're willing to take the time, the money, the resources, find other people who can help you accomplish it. What is your next goal? And then sweet extras, I like to think of sweet extras as that little cherry on top. If you've done something great, can you do just something else? Just add a sweet extra to it. Not only doing sweet extra things for yourself, but for other people, for projects you're working on. Yeah, you've dotted the I's, crossed the T's. What's a sweet extra that you can add to it? Live a life of sweet extras. Again, try to imagine life without one of these areas. What would happen? We go through each of the areas. What would happen if all of a sudden you decided you didn't need to ever dress up again, look good? How long do you think you would go without food? I actually, January, did a 21-day water fast. Actually recorded it on YouTube afterwards, all the things that I had learned and went through. It was pretty crazy to do a 21-day water fast. I did notify my doctor. So if you're planning on doing something like that, research it really well. Notify your doctor. But it was an amazing experience. In fact, from my fast is where it came together that all of the things that I was doing in my past were leading to this one thing of living a priority-driven life. So let's continue on. Our 13 areas of life all share one me. So my 13 areas of life share me. You see, parts of me goes here, parts of me goes there, parts of me goes everywhere. So you can, an assignment for you, take a large piece of paper, write the 13 areas of life down on them. I have created the Free to Spend, the #1 life skill toolkit, which includes this. You have a large mat with 13 areas, and then grab 100 items, whether they're M&Ms, noodles, pennies, gems. Grab 100 items and consider the 100 in the 13 areas as your time first, and lay it out. Where are you spending your time? Is that what you like? Would you like it different? And then lay it out as the 100% of me represents every paycheck I get. So every paycheck I get, if I was to calculate how much was one gym in my paycheck, it would be my bring home pay. I always use the take home pay. So my check that I deposited, that actually got deposited, divided by 100 is X amount of dollars per gym. Now, to live a priority-driven life, it means that you see, that you visually, or you see here, you see there, and I say you go woohoo everywhere. Now, when we see what we're doing, like when we lay out our gems on the board, we can see what we're doing. When we use a planner and we open it up and we choose, here is my top priority, here's how I'm using my time. I'm seeing what I'm doing. When I see, I choose, and I can go, woohoo. Remember, all my choices are mine alone to make. The truth of whether I am living a priority-driven life or not is money. Money will tell on you faster than anything else. Did part of me go here? Did part of me go there? Did part of me go everywhere? Did I live a priority-driven life? Do I want to live a priority-driven life? Well, if you're wondering if you are or not, we'll look at where on that board your money is going, and you'll see very quickly if you're living a priority-driven life. But I'd ask, when is a great time? But really, now is a great time to live a priority-driven life. There's the Priority-Driven Life Planner. There's a Life Skill Toolkit. Let me move my Priority-Driven Life Planner up here so you can see it. My Priority Life Planner is $38. You can get it from Barnes & Noble, Amazon. I just recently had Googled it, said it came up on Target. Don't know if it has yet or not, but you can get it. When you get it, I encourage you, after you start using it, please go back, leave a review so other people will know of its availability. You'll see the cover, but the cover is, you can take the cover off. So I currently have my cover on, but that's because that's me and I'm marketing. But you take the cover off and you have a hard-bound, priority-driven life planner. And having it open in front of you is amazing and transformational. The number one life skill toolkit comes with the essential the handbook and the life guide and 100 gems, all in a cool little bank bag. Together, you can get both of them for $99. You use code LIFE. I do it free shipping and handling, and you would order it from the website here. It's a no-brainer. Your best life is waiting. But not only that, is I don't want you to do this life alone. And as you get started learning something new, I have a bonus it's an email series of 30 days with love. And in that email series, you feel free to email me any questions you have, and I will get back to you because you're not on this journey alone. So with that in mind, I want to tell you there are more free things, more free stuff. I have 3 free email series at the website. So again, if you stop the screen and just take a snapshot of the scan here, it will lead you to the website. The first one, I encourage everyone, don't worry, be happy. It's a 12-step program, my version, the 12-step program to really increasing your happy. I love going through it. It has been transformational for me as well. And of course, there's 12 steps to bonding and 10 steps to love, and definitely do Building Wealth 101. We're going to go through the 13 areas and how they impart you're either building wealth or decreasing your wealth based on what you're doing in each of those 13 areas. So with that, I've come to a close. I thank you so much for sharing your time and your life with me. I want you to know that you are loved. I wouldn't do this if I didn't care about you and your life. In advancing wealth, it really is not as hard as you think. In fact, the advanced lesson, the priority-driven life of Free to Spend, part 2, we're going to dive deeper into each of the areas that I've talked about. Because now that I've talked about them, we'll just recap real quick and then go into it. Faith. Have faith that life can be what you choose it to be. Choose to live a priority-driven life. My name is Sharon Love. And I encourage you, as you go out in your world, that you be found sharing love everywhere you go. Thank you again. And remember, you are absolutely brilliant. And there is only one of you. You were created an original. Do not die a copycat. Be you and do you. Thanks for joining me.